The Texas Parks and Wildlife television series is funded in part by a grant from the Wildlife and Sport Fish Restoration Program. Through your purchases of hunting and fishing equipment and motorboat fuels, over $50 million in conservation efforts are funded in Texas each year. Additional support provided by Ram Trucks, built to serve. Coming up on Texas Parks and Wildlife.
It only takes a few months to get a significant amount of marine growth.
We always want to know where the end of our firearm, or the muzzle, is pointed at all times.
It's really not about getting from here to there. It's about enjoying and taking in whatever kind of wildlife or nature you can along the way.
Texas Parks and Wildlife, a television series for all outdoors.
In the Gulf waters off the Texas coast, these divers are on their way to visit an artificial reef.
What we're going to see, we don't know until we get down there.
It's amazing and really exciting. It's like my inner nerd comes out.
Not just any reef. It's an old ship called the Kraken that's quickly becoming a new Texas legend.
Texas Parks and Wildlife Artificial Reef Program out here today to create our latest artificial reef.
We're at our reef site 65 miles out of Galveston, getting ready to reef this ship called the Kraken. We're trying to maneuver into a deep water spot that's at least 140 feet deep.
Named after the mythical sea monster, the Kraken is one of the largest ships to be reefed off the Texas coast.
Well, in the Gulf of Mexico, the bottom is mainly mud and sand. There's not a lot of hard substrate for marine organisms and invertebrates to attach to. This is why we put these out here. Our mission is to create and enhance marine habitat in the Gulf of Mexico. And one way we do that is using materials such as ships.
Conditions are perfect. It's nice. It's 2 to 3 foot rollers out here. The sun's shining. It's a really good day for reefing.
With 4 large holes cut into the stern of either side of the ship, the Kraken will sink by what's called a controlled flood.
Water will rush into the stern, and we're hoping that the stern touches the bottom first, and all that superstructure will fill with water, and it'll bring the bow down nice and slow. See you on the bottom, Kraken. Oh, that was beautiful.
The Kraken sinks perfectly and lands dead level on the sea floor.
I don't know if we're gonna get that GoPro back.
Be careful, my dear.
It's been 7 months, and it's coated.
There's a lot of fish on that ship. Massive, massive schools of bait fish, mostly mackerel, scad, lots of red snappers. I wasn't expecting it to proliferate that much that quickly after sinking. It's really cool. It only takes a few months to get a
a significant amount of marine growth. We did a lot of pre-survey work before the ship was reefed. Found a couple of sharks and not much of anything else. No red snapper, no other reef species. And now it's just teeming with marine life. The divers really love wrecks. Every dive is an experience because even if you've seen the wreck before, you're guaranteed to see something different each time you go down.
The site's really nice. We designed it specifically to be easily accessible. Swimming through the bridge, easy. You can go through the lower levels as well if you're comfortable with it and you have more training.
The cranes are there. We've got the anchor. The prop is on there if you can get down that far to look at it.
Back on the surface, the team has more work to do.
We're doing vertical longline fishing.
We catch a number of different species, but most of what we're catching is red snapper. We want to know the age of the snapper that are living on these structures. We also want to know if they're traveling between the structures.
Fishing!
We'll drop one line at a time. We soak it for 5 minutes.
All right, guys, get ready.
I'm ready.
We got lights. Line, no bait. Line 2, no bait. Line 3, no bait. Line 4, red snapper. Line 5.
All of the fish get measured.
343.
Okay. They get tagged.
Tag number 417.
And then they all get released.
Line 3, ginormous red snapper.
Today, we caught over a dozen snapper.
That red snapper is enormous.
This is 4.6.
Nice work, everyone. Teamwork. All right, which one are we dropping next?
Releasing the fish at the right depth is critical to recompressing their swim bladder.
We use these really interesting hooks called sequelizers, and they have a pressure sensor on them. They're set to 100 feet, so when the line goes and it reaches 100 feet, the pressure release lets go and the hook comes undone and the fish swims off.
Adult red snapper live mostly near structures in deep water.
That's a red snapper.
They've long been a popular catch for both recreational and commercial fishermen. Reefs like the Kraken are helping build a sustainable red snapper population.
When fishermen target these structures, they're taking fishing pressure off of the natural reefs. All of these natural reefs that have been the basis of production for economically important fish, like the snapper, well, now the pressure is kind of getting relieved because, oh, well, now we can go to the Kraken.
Considering the ship has only been down here for 6 months, it's got a lot of productivity going on. We're really happy with the way it's progressing. I don't think it really could have gone any better than what it's showing up to be. It looks great.
It's just amazing in such a short period of time how the ocean finds a way.
This project was funded in part by a grant from the Sport Fish Restoration Program.
It's a great place to paddle. It's absolutely beautiful.
It is a great surprise to me that you're able to do this 10 minutes from where I live.
Kayaking in the state of Texas has exploded, and so we've tagged on to that.
All right! Kayaking and canoeing are more popular than ever. And now here in Texas, there's a push for more and more paddling trails.
We're trying to develop a large inventory of paddling trails with lots of different venues so that we can reach a wide audience with a healthy outdoor experience. All right, and this is just the Birch Creek State Park boat ramp. Yes, sir.
Ron Smith from the paddling planning team
And you got wildlife viewing.
is here as Lake Somerville State Park looks to open up their own paddling trail.
Part of the process for today is that we're going to be looking at the initial survey. And so we're going to get our initial GPS and GIS information. Bathrooms on site. Evaluate the put-ins and the takeouts. Look at the aids to navigation and the hazards to navigation.
One concern on the lake is an invasive aquatic plant called hydrilla that could make paddling pretty tough.
Well, what we're going to mention about this spot is that there is a fairly heavy hydrilla population here in this area, so we'll have to make sure that people are aware. It's part of what's here and part of the paddling trail adventure.
Each paddling trail adventure starts at a public put-in with easy access, and signs provide trip details.
Let's go easy, easy.
In Houston, the Buffalo Bayou paddling trail meanders right through the heart of the city.
We need to go left here a little bit.
Bob Arthur is a river rat from way back.
I think I missed everything.
He's been paddling this bayou for 30 years now.
It's, I think, still the longest paddle trail in the state. 26 miles, and all of it within the city limits of Houston, Texas.
Oh, there's a log here. It's more natural than what I thought. Let me say it that way. It's more natural than what I expected, you know, so you really feel like, you know, you're in the middle of nowhere.
It's close. Just get in and go. Spend 2 or 3 hours in nature. If you listen, it's just quiet. You can't hear anything but what's supposed to be here.
The first official Texas paddling trail was Lighthouse Lakes, established in 1999 down along the coast at Aransas Pass.
Well, what we have is an endless maze of creeks and lakes.
Dean Thomas is a local guide who's been paddling these coastal channels since the trails opened up.
I bought me a kayak, started fishing about the same time these trails were developed, started exploring out here, and then got the idea that I could guide people into these areas. It's very secluded, it's very peaceful. A lot of these lakes are kayak only. It's just so shallow and so rocky in a lot of places. The only way to get through is a kayak.
The trail is actually a series of 4 loops. They range from 1 to 7 miles in length.
The Lighthouse Lakes trails are marked with trail markers, and with moderate paddling, you can do a very adventurous trip.
There's sightseeing at the historic lighthouse.
All the paddling trails that you could launch from the road lead out here to the lighthouse.
Sight in some colorful coastal birds.
We have every species on the coast.
Or you can sight cast for some trophy redfish.
The red fishing is world class in this area. We have anglers traveling from all over the country.
How you like that? It's about 23, 24 incher. Nice little red from Lighthouse Lakes.
Fishing here might be world class, but the silence and solitude is the true draw.
Once people come out and they spend a day in their kayak, they realize there's a whole lot more to it than just fishing. There's many days when I'm out here and I will sit back and put the rod in the holder and just enjoy the beauty of the place.
Back on Lake Somerville, Ron and the site survey team have finally made their way to the highlight of the trip, the lake's main tributary, Yewa Creek.
How long do y'all propose this trail will be?
From our put-in spot to where the creek flows into the lake, it's about 6 miles.
That's a nice length for one of our trails.
It is. What's really nice about the Yewa Creek this time of year is with all the hardwoods we have on the banks, it drops all the leaves in the fall, and you can see they're just all floating right here, all those autumn colors. I think people are going to be pleasantly surprised at this stretch of the Yewa Creek. The habitat is pretty pristine. We have a lot of bottomland hardwood forests. They're just really beautiful, and people are going to like it.
It's a very unique venue for paddling, and that's our goal, is to create as many trails with as much uniqueness as we can throughout the state.
Truly unique and one of the jewels of the paddling trail system is the Upper Guadalupe River between San Antonio and Austin.
This section of the Guadalupe River is very peaceful. You don't see a lot of development along here.
I think we're the first ones on the river today.
You just hear birds and the sound of your paddle going through the water.
Margaret Stambaugh, her kids, and friend Cliff Gossett get their paddles wet here on the Guadalupe every chance they get.
This particular stretch of this river is one of those stretches that you can use it as a starter, and when you get really good, you can still enjoy it. And that's why I still enjoy it, because it's close, it's clean, it's clear. And the kids just love it.
Woohoo! I personally like rivers with white water on them. It's just more fun for me. And so I do like the Guadalupe because it's close to Austin, and yet it has some fun stretches to challenge you a bit, but not too much. Good job, buddy.
You got to go through that hole.
Okay.
It will test you to get through it clean.
Right down this tube. Right here.
And that's something that the kids that don't have this opportunity will never know.
Yeah, we're good. Woohoo!
This new push for paddling trails gets folks out on the water and respects the nearby landowners at the same time.
So much of the river along the banks is private property, and it can be very tricky finding places to get in and out. And so I think it's wonderful that there's some established places.
The rivers are owned by the people, and what the public access does, it allows you to come down. It's public, you can stay, you can come and go as you please, and any time you please. And the river is yours.
Hi, I'm Heidi Rayo, Hunter Education Specialist with Texas Parks and Wildlife. Let's talk about safe firearm muzzle control. We always want to know where the end of our firearm, or the muzzle, is pointed at all times. This is basic safety, but it's amazing how easy it is to forget where it is pointed. If you're hunting alone, you still need to be very aware of where your firearm's muzzle is pointed. There could be other hunters or even a building near where you're hunting, and you never want your firearm pointed at anything other than your intended target. Always make sure your firearm is on safety. You always want to keep your finger outside of the trigger guard until you're ready to shoot. Always keep your muzzle pointed in a safe direction. Your safe direction can change with every step you take. This is important in case of an accidental misfire. When you're hunting with 2 or more hunters, you need to be aware of where the other hunters are at all times. You really must talk and let the others know where you are. And how you carry your gun is very important. You always want to carry your gun in a way so there's no possibility for the muzzle to be pointed at any other hunter. One of the safest ways to carry your firearm is known as the two-handed carry or the ready position. This carry also provides the most control over your firearm, and it gives you a quick setup for a shot. Firearm safety is your responsibility. Always know where your muzzle is pointed, keep your safety on, and keep your finger outside of the trigger guard until you're ready to shoot. By following these basic rules, you can have a safe, fun, enjoyable hunting trip.
This project was funded in part by a grant from the Wildlife Restoration Program.
We're
about a 2-hour drive from Dallas, about 13 miles from Wichita Falls.
In the spring, Lake Arrowhead State Park can be a colorful place, right down to the water.
We are on the Little Wichita River, tributary to the Red River. Iron ore in the soil tints the water to the reddish tint, and that's where the Red River gets its name. We've got quite a bit of wildlife. We're kind of a quiet getaway. When Mother Nature shines on us, people come to see us.
But even when nature isn't so shiny, there's reason to visit Lake Arrowhead.
The strong pull here is fishing. It's an excellent crappie lake.
They like to bite in these overcast days. You can dodge the raindrops. You gotta chase them sometimes. And it's not looking real good in this spot.
Good. Catch some big ones, catch some little ones.
Very, very large ones in this lake.
That's a big fish.
This is one of the premier crappie lakes in Texas.
Look at that monster.
Okay. No, don't take a picture of that one.
They get bigger than that, huh? Everything looks bigger on film. That's right.
Well, that's quick release right there.
What's everybody want to do tomorrow? David, what do you want to do?
In the camping area, the Warburton family isn't letting the rainy weather spoil their fun either.
Did you guys find any of the hiking trails when you went fishing today? No. Yes, Papa showed us one.
We live in Duncan, Oklahoma, which is about an hour and a half from here. Dad lives in Fort Worth, and a couple times a year we just pick a spot, pretty much always a state park, and meet up.
Let's go, Pa.
It's a good way to get away from it all, you know, give people time to visit. And the puppies like it too. All right, David, you want to lead the way? Always something different.
Right now, we are the only Texas state park with a disc golf course. You can take a regular Frisbee and play it. You count the number of throws, like strokes, on a ball.
Yeah.
We have a working oil well pump jack in the middle of our campground. And it was here before we became a state park. Out in the lake, there are oil derricks still standing out there, which makes excellent fish habitat. Now, we also have our prairie dog town. We are one of the easternmost points for the black-tailed prairie dog. And we've got a small town of them that come up and bark at you and greet you whenever you come out. A lot of folks come out just to see the prairie dogs. You can experience nature a little bit closer than you can in some areas.
Come on, guys.
Although this weekend leaves the Warburtons with one particular impression of Lake Arrowhead.
Wet.
They plan to return one brighter day down the road.
We'll be back. Really inexpensive way to have a good time with your family.
Ready to go back to camp? Yeah.
Visiting Texas state parks just got easier. With our new online reservation features, you can choose a specific cabin, campsite, or shelter and reserve it for your next visit. The new reservation system makes it easier to plan group getaways. Save the day and don't get turned away with our optional day-use reservation.
Good morning.
And be sure to get in.
Thank you.
Plus, you can buy park passes and gift cards online. Texas State Parks, getting better for you.
This series is funded in part by a grant from the Wildlife and Sport Fish Restoration Program. Through your purchases of hunting and fishing equipment and motorboat fuels, over $50 million in conservation efforts are funded in Texas each year. Additional support provided by Ram Trucks, built to serve.